Crosby and hits this one well to left center.
And this one lifted by Spini into deep right field. Edgar going back, and he's going to watch this one sail over the wall. Big home run for Nick Spini.
Davis with the pitch, and this one is hit deep in the right center. And this one is going to fall. And this game, Fortney running in. He's going to be home, and this game is over. A walk-off victory for the Solano Falcons.
Here comes Wills, played the plate, he's in, he is safe, and the Falcons are going to win this game 7-6. Oh my.
Hi, I'm David Fernandez. Thanks for watching the Solano College Sports Network.
Hello, everybody, and happy Saturday to all of you at home. You're tuned in to SCSN, your home for Solano sports. Today we're here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium, set to give you the third game of this three-game set between the Solano Falcons and the Mendocino Eagles. I'm Mike McLeod, here as always with my partner in crime, Stosh Zamorda. Stosh, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. The weather is perfect. Not a wind in sight. Beautiful Saturday here. Couldn't ask for a better day. I'm happy to be here with you, Mike. And so third game set. It's going to be a good game. What you got in store for us?
Well, it's going to be a great day, and it's going to start with this leadoff man, Nick Agliolo. The first pitch is low and outside for ball one, but Nick Agliolo, 5 for 8, 3 runs scored, 2 walks. I mean, this guy's been lights out all season.
And it's still
Strike one.
Early in the season, and this guy has come out in season play. He's on fire. He's been killing the Falcons the last game up in Mendocino. He went 2 for 3 with 2 walks. And Solano only gave up 2 walks the whole game, and they were both to this gentleman right here.
And Dylan Dumape on the mound throws that one away, and the count goes to 2-1.
Dumape had his last outing in the preseason. He went 5 2/3. He only gave up 2 walks. He had 6 strikeouts and 3 earned runs.
And that ball is high, didn't get enough bite on the curved ball, so the count moves to 3-1.
So, Solano took a little bit of a whooping here. The first game on Tuesday against this Mendocino team, they lost 7-3.
And that ball is also high, so Nick Agliolo draws his third walk of the series on 5 pitches.
That's never the way you want to start at the game, Mike. You want to come out and throw strikes and establish your strike zone early. But if you can't find the strike zone early, then some of those borderline calls you might not get later in the game. You need to show that you can throw strikes coming off the bat.
Up at the plate, Jack Amaro, the third baseman for Mendocino.
He's batting a 143. He's 1 for 7 on the season.
Lays down a bunt. And he is thrown out at first. Close play. Good job of Evan Pacenta to pick it up and flip it over to
nice sacrifice
Brandon Mihalic over at second.
That was a nice sacrifice bunt by Amaro. That was a high pitch. It was hard to get down on, but he got the ball down and did his job and sacrificed Nick over to second base.
Up at the plate, number 4, Anthony Colton. This guy's a beast too. Right down the middle of the plate is Dylan Dumape, strike one.
And only 1 for 8 on the season so far for Colton, but this guy in the outfield, he is lights out. The game on Tuesday, he threw out Bobby Contreras rounding third to home plate. It was just
a cannon.
Pee right to the catcher and got him out.
That ball is just a bit outside for ball one.
If Bobby comes around and scores that run, it was a different ball game, but that good play by Colton really shut down the Falcons, and they didn't really have anything going until the 9th inning where they were still down big, but they put up a fight, and they continued that to their last game on Thursday. Ooh.
And he ropes one into left field, and they're going to hold Nick Agliolo at third. So now you got runners at the corners with 1 out.
He smoked that one right in the hole between the shortstop and the third baseman. But good throw by Bobby Contreras from left field to make sure the runner stays at third.
Yeah, Bobby Contreras is sort of the Swiss Army knife of this team. There's a couple people like that. Fernandez can play pretty much any position he wanted to. But up at the plate now, Brett Laughlin, the designated hitter.
Dumape is looking for a ground ball here. Get out of the inning with a double play.
And he throws it over to first just to try to check the runner. You want to keep that force out at first, keep the double play in order.
Don't be surprised to see him steal base. Colton hasn't attempted today stolen base yet this season, but he's got some wheels over at first, and first inning might as well try to get something going early.
Pitch out over to second. Good throw, not in time, and he is safe at second. Is Anthony Colton.
There's no way they're getting him there. Even with the pitch out, he got a tremendous jump, and you like to see that with a left-handed pitcher. You go off first movement. He saw the pitcher's Dumapay's foot lift just slightly, and he took off. Acosta didn't have a chance.
Yeah, but everything else worked well. The good throw to the catcher, good exchange, but like you were saying, he's got great legs on him. Anthony Colton does. So.
And, it didn't look like a fastball, maybe a little curveball or slider on the outside. Didn't have the full speed from Dumapay.
So maybe half a pitch out. And Brett Laughlin fouls that one back. So the count goes to 1-1.
Laughlin 1-5 on the season, batting .200. He has 2 RBIs. His on-base percentage is .167. He's slugging in .200. So still early. He hasn't really got anything going yet. So
it's only been 2 games into the season, so can't look at the sample size and say that this is what he's going to do. That one is outside for ball 2. And a steady diet of pitches away. Keep him away, low, outside of the zone.
Yeah, that's the type of pitcher Dumapay is. He's a location pitcher. He hits the zones, high, low.
And that's an easy pop up to first. Facenda will get under it. And the runners will stay. So that is just what the doctor ordered for Dylan Dumapay, to keep the runners on the bases. You didn't want it to get too far out in the outfield. But up at the plate, number 42, Raymond Kerr, pitched on Thursday, I believe, right?
Yeah, he pitched on Thursday, and he went 2 for 4. So this guy's swinging the bat pretty well. Batting at .250 so far this season.
And nice break to that curveball. So the count goes to 0-1.
I like to see Dumapay working ahead in the count. Really helps a pitcher's mentality when you get that first strike over, because you have a bunch of pitches to play with.
And that ball is fouled almost straight back, just over the third base bleachers. So the count goes to 0-2.
So expect a pitch, low and outside, something that they're going to try to get Kerr to chase on. They're not going to go right at him, with runners on second and third.
Low and away it is, but a little bit too far out for Raymond Kerr.
That's a good pitch, because that changes the batter's eye level. So he saw the pitch, fastball low and away. Now you can break something inside, and maybe a curveball, especially Dylan Dumapay, lefty versus lefty matchup. And that's exactly what they went to. Fernandez backhands, fires over to first, and that is out number 3.
So that is it for the top of the first, and we'll be back with the bottom of the first. And welcome back. We're here for the bottom of the first, and due up first for Solano is David Fernandez. Due up in the inning, David Fernandez, Tucker Bishop, and Nick Perez. Nick Perez, the designated hitter today. Evan Facenda, after he got that home run in the last game, worked his way back into the starting lineup. He's at first today. So what are you expecting from Solano today, Stash?
They swung the bat well up in Mendocino and Ukiah County. Or Mendocino County, Ukiah, California. They put up 9 runs in that game, and they really continued off that 9th inning rally they had on Tuesday. So Solano's starting to swing the bat better than they have.
And that ball is at a high level for David Fernandez. So
and I like to see last game, David Fernandez went 3 for 5 with an RBI and a scored run. So I like to see David starting to work out of his slump.
Pulls it back, but not in time. Strike 1.
pitch just hit the letters, so umpire has a high strike zone.
Big swing and just missed it. Fouls that one off on the first base side. Count goes to 1-2.
You know, behind home plate today, umpire Danny Peck, and down the first base line, you have Justin Hatley. Haiti, I think the last name is. So a couple good umpires here in the Bay Valley Conference.
And takes a rip at this one, brings it back up the middle. Great play by Nick Agliolo, but not in time, and David Fernandez will be safe at first.
You know, that's what Fernie needs to do, get the ball in play. He was struggling earlier in the season. He was striking out a lot, but now I saw him earlier in batting practice. He was really making good, solid contact, working on where he wants to put the ball, not trying to overswing. Basically, he was trying to do too much early in preseason. Now he's back to his normal form, just more confident at the plate, and I like to see him in the leadoff hole.
Up now, Tucker Bishop, the third baseman, puts down a bunt, but that's not what you want to have happen when you bunt, have it go up in the air.
That is the worst thing you could possibly have happen because that opens up on a play for a double play. You know, you pop it up, the runner gets a good jump, and even if it falls, he's kind of stranded out there. You can get the runner out at second. You know, it's one of those plays. You need to get the bunts down. Put it on the ground and give the runner a chance to get the second.
Gets that one down first base side.
Excellent bunt.
Dustin Thaxton picks it up, throws it over to first for out number 1, but David Fernandez does advance to second on the play.
Almost identical to the top of the first.
Now batting the DH, number 13, Nick Perez.
Now, Nick Perez coming to the plate for the Falcons, and this is a guy who's swinging the bat extremely well so far in the early part of this season.
Yeah, only 200 so far, but hasn't started a game yet. So,
and you know, his average doesn't show. Every time he gets out, it's a hard hit ball.
Ooh, and that one just on the outside paint for strike number 1. Sorry, Stosh, didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all good. You're play-by-play today. That's what you're supposed to do. And what I was touching on Nick Perez, every time he makes contact with the ball, it's solid contact just to a position player, you know. A little bit of a struggle, but, you know, keep hitting the ball hard. It'll find holes eventually. Then you'll get yourself on a hitting streak. So he has a beautiful swing as well. Really compact, holds his hands in there.
Nick Perez just missed that one. I think he wants that one back, fouling it off over the third base side. Count goes to 0-2, and now you got to shorten up the swing a little bit. I don't know if Nick Perez can get more compact with his swing, but
you know, you'll see his stride will shorten up a little bit, and the two-strike approach will come into play right now. Anything close, he's just going to fight it off, and he has a very good eye to see the ball coming in. And
hey, he was batting somewhat like 300,
375,
375 in the preseason. So
he had that 5-hit game against
that's right.
DVC.
That ball is high, not enough break to the curveball there, and ball number 1. Dustin Thaxton on the mound. First time he's pitched so far in the regular season, so we don't know much about him, but looks like he has a curveball, a fastball, changeup, the, you know, typical lineup for a pitcher. I don't know if lineup is the right word, but
repertoire.
Repertoire. There you go. Arsenal. That ball is
$5.
low and away for
That's
ball
not
number
your
2.
$5 words, bud.
I don't want you to get too confused.
You know, Thaxton started over at third base the game on Tuesday where Solano lost 7-3.
Yeah, a lot of these pitchers for Mendocino sort of utility players. Raymond Kerr plays at first, but also pitched on Thursday.
You know, if you keep those guys as your starters, you're allowed, you know, it really helps your team to let them play in the field because it's best overall players, of course. And
Nick Perez calls timeout.
You know, that's a smart heads-up play. You know, you're 1-2 right now, and the pitcher was kind of not getting the sign he wanted, so you kind of freeze yourself up at the plate. So it takes time and just catch your breath and rethink what's coming to you.
But like we were saying, Stosh, there's only 9 pitchers on the roster for Mendocino, and 3 of them are also fielding. So if you can get to the bullpen early in this game and make Dustin Thaxton throw a lot of pitches to get you out, you're going to have a much easier time winning this game.
Exactly. The last game on Thursday, the bullpen gave up 4 runs, 5 runs total, and a home run. So you see that bullpen's a little shaky.
And gets a hold of that one, and that one is not going to fall.
Like I said, every time he makes contact, he's hitting the
I
ball
thought
hard.
I thought it was going to be much farther than it was, but Anthony Colton getting under it and getting the out for out number 2.
You know, Nick Perez just can't buy a hit right now. He's hitting the ball hard. He's doing everything right. It just happens to be right towards somebody. But now coming to the plate for the Falcons, the right fielder, Darian Evans.
You always talk to Darian Evans before the game,
Yeah,
so
I tend to see him a lot. He's always out here and get to chat with him. Pretty good guy.
did they tell you anything special today?
I didn't get to see him today. I was actually talking to Bubba Johnson today, and
Swings at the first pitch over to Nick Agliolo and over to Raymond Kerr for the 3rd out. So they leave 1 on, but they get 1 hit, sacrifice bunt, and we're going to the top of the 2nd. Top of the 2nd here, Mendocino, after not getting anything in the 1st inning, looking to start something here. Leading off the top of the 2nd is the right fielder, Ben Miller, number 7.
Ben Miller is batting .500, even though he only has 2 at-bats, 1 for 2. And that at-bat actually came in the game on Tuesday.
And that ball is high for ball number 1.
So Ben hasn't really been starting too much. So this is the 3rd game of the series. So, of course, you'll see a couple of different players get some guys a day off.
And swings at that one, chopped, almost going into foul territory. Evan Facenda underneath it. So that will be out number 1.
1 pitch, 1 out. Can't do anything better. Or 2 pitches, 1 out, I should say.
So you could do one thing better.
Mhm.
But next up, Tyler Beats, the catcher today. Normally it's Semenko, Kenny Semenko, but he's getting the day off today, as you were saying. So Tyler Beats getting his first start of the year. Pitch is low for ball number 1.
This is his first at-bat of the year, too. We didn't get to see him in any of the previous 2 games. So we'll see what he can do here.
Right in there, strike 1.
Oh, big curveball.
That ball in the dirt gets past Ian Acosta for
That
ball
one,
number 2.
that one skipped about 2 feet in front of the plate. That's a tough play for any catcher to try to block. Luckily, there's no runners on, so it doesn't hurt.
Swings on that one. Evan Facenda there for that one, too. So that's going to be Evan Facenda fly out to line out to Evan Facenda for out number 2.
For you of those scoring at home, that's an L3.
L3, F3. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Well, there's put out, there's line out, there's fly out. But it all depends on the preference on how you do your own scorebook at home.
Up now, Matt Stout, the 3rd baseman. First strike right in there for strike number 1.
Matt Stout, once again, his first at-bat of the season, first start of the season.
Well, the normal 3rd baseman is pitching today, so you're going to get a little bit more rotation in there. Swings on that one over to David Fernandez, picks it up, throws over to first for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down on the top of the 2nd. We're on to the bottom. Bottom of the 2nd here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium. And I have to correct myself, Stosh. You pointed that out to me during the break. No, the last out was Brandon Mihalich to Evan Facenda. I'm used to David Fernandez being at 2nd, as he sometimes is, but David's over at shortstop today. So Brandon Mihalich at 2nd base. That put out was 4-3, Brandon Mihalich to Evan Facenda. And speaking of Evan Facenda, he is at bat right now.
Big first baseman, homered in the last game against Mendocino.
Swings at the first pitch, a little bouncer to the pitcher. Throws it over to first for out number 1.
Not even a throw, more of a
Well,
lob.
a toss.
Toss. Underhand toss. You know what's different? Oh, up comes to the plate is Brandon Mihalich, of course, the 2nd baseman. But you see Coach Scott Stover down on the first base line. You don't see that too often. But I got the chance to talk to Bubba Johnson before the game, and I asked him what was up with that. He goes, you know, the team really hasn't been meshing well, so maybe try to do something different. So Stover's over there. Maybe a little pressure off them because Stover is a pretty intimidating guy.
Swings on the 2nd pitch over to the first baseman, bobbles it over to Thaxton for out number 2. So first one is 1-3, and second one is 3-1.
Now Bobby Contreras coming up to the plate. Left fielder.
And you got to love that as a first baseman that you can bobble the ball and rely on your pitcher to be over there to cover the bag.
So Thaxton shakes off the first pitch.
And
Yes, it did. I was going to say if
I thought it was a little inside.
I heard a little tick. I was waiting to see what the umpire was going to do. Good call
So
by the umpire, Danny
Bobby
Peck.
Contreras hit by the pitch, and he is on first.
So Solano's got something working here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Number 22.
And Ian Acosta, the catcher, coming to the plate. Ian Acosta batting .250 on the year. He has 1 double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks.
But the 2 hits that he didn't get were strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts.
Bobby Contreras has a good lead over at first, and he takes off.
Throw over to second
Oh,
is
wow.
in plenty of time to get him. So thrown out on the way to second. So still 3 up, 3 down to the bottom of the second, and we make our way to the top of the third. For this inning, due up Tanner Mansell leading off, and the 9-hole left fielder, then Nick Agliolo and Jack Amaro.
Tanner Mansell batting .286.
Swings the first pitch off the mask of Ian Acosta. Strike number 1.
Yeah, I'll see that a lot behind the dish, and that's why catchers got to be tough. You take a lot off the mask, off the body. After each game, you're all banged up. It's not fun. A lot of bruises. And you see, last season for the A's, John Jaso, 3 games in a row took a hard foul ball off the mask, and it actually in August we had to put him on the DL, and he didn't come back. He actually is now back from concussion symptoms since. Ooh.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
With all the heightened awareness of concussions in the NFL is really going into other sports, especially baseball, especially with the younger kids now. You see that the pitchers are starting to wear.
Ooh, and out in front of it, Tanner Mansell did not feel comfortable at all in that at bat.
He didn't know what was coming.
Strike 3.
Dumapay definitely had him fooled the whole way, but now out steps.
Nick Agliolo for his second at bat.
He's 0 for 0.
First technical at bat.
He walked in his first at bat on 5 pitches. The best way to shut this guy down is get ahead of him early and make him guess on what you're going to throw next. Don't allow him to get ahead in the count because he will tear you apart. He's swinging the bat hot. Ooh.
That pitch is low and a bit inside for ball number 1. Count goes to 1-1.
Yeah, that's a really good pitch. You like to see that on an 0-2 count. Starts in the zone, just broke down to the dirt.
That ball is also low, just a bit low. That was a good pitch, too.
That was his changeup. Really has a lot of downward bite when he gets closer to the batter.
Gets a hold of that one. And that one is Gio Torres right underneath it for out number 2. Good solid contact, but
it is a day game, so the ball will carry. It will.
But there's no wind here.
No, but the warmth really gets the ball moving and it keeps it up. Nighttime, that ball would get down, it'll stop a little colder.
And big swing and a miss, strike 1.
You're a Giants fan. You should know about the day games, night games. I know about the O.co, AT&T Park, same thing. See a lot of home runs during the day, not very many at night. Unless, of course, your name's Barry Bonds and you take steroids.
That ball's low for ball number 1.
Did you see that Barry Bonds is helping out at spring training with the Giants as a hitting instructor?
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that.
He's lost about 40 pounds. He's really skinny.
That ball too high for ball number 2. Yeah, I haven't been keeping too much track of the spring training. The NFL free agency is in here. That ball's fouled back. So, strike number 2. Count goes 2-2. But the free agency started in the NFL. Basketball is getting right into the thick of the playoff race. Hockey's getting good.
And
So
March Madness.
March Madness is here.
Selection
So
Sunday's tomorrow.
there's a lot going on in the sports world. Giacomo calls for time.
And he just barely gets a time there as Dimapay just started his windup.
Strike 3 called at the knees. So 2 strikeouts for Dylan Dumapay in the inning. 3 up, 3 down, and we're on to the bottom of the third. So Ian Acosta due up first in the bottom of the third. Sorry, he was at plate at the bottom of the second, but thrown out was Bobby Contreras. So he gets a second attempt at an at bat.
You know, Thaxton only threw 5 pitches in that last inning, and he's at 17 pitches.
And one of them hit a guy.
Yeah. So he's working quick and getting quick outs. And like you touched on earlier, Solano really needs to break into this Mendocino bullpen early. So I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing these Solano Falcons take some pitches.
That ball is just at the knees, strike 1.
Costa, being a catcher, has a pretty good eye at the plate.
Swing over to Giacomo at short, over to Raymond Kerr, who has to reach up and get it, but in time, the throw for out number 1.
And that's why you put tall, lanky guys over at first base.
That's why I was at first base.
You know, I also played first base for a couple games, you know, second string. I'd bounce around utility player, and playing first base is fun. All you got to do is catch the ball.
Yep. Now at bat, Giovanni Torres, the center fielder.
Or as I like to say, their second leadoff man, because you come down to the bottom of the lineup. He could be a top of the lineup player, but he produces well at the bottom of the lineup for the Solano team.
That ball way too high. Ball 1.
You know, the numbers aren't there so far this early part of the season for Gio Torres, but once he gets a couple hits and he starts rolling, this guy is a very streaky hitter.
That one's inside for ball number 2, and the count goes to 2-0.
You know, he reminds me a lot of his brother Christian Torres, who was a great center fielder in his own. You know, same family, you know, playing together all the time, so of course they'd be the same.
Big rip at it, but didn't get enough of it. Strike 1. Foul tipped into the glove, strike 1. You're having a tough time with that tape over there.
Yeah, this thing just does not like me today.
You got to wipe it off a little bit. That ball low, so the count goes to 3-1. So Thaxton has to throw it over the plate here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Gio rip one here if it's over the plate.
And they're playing him a little left to center. And that ball is low as well, so a 5-pitch walk for Giovanni Torres. And up at the plate, David Fernandez, who hit for a single in his first at bat. So looking to go 2 for 2. That was the infield single. Nicogliolo couldn't get enough on the throw to get him out at first.
Yeah,
good hustle play.
I mean, just for the range, to be able to backhand that ball and grab it, I thought it was for sure getting all the way through. Oh,
and Giovanni Torres just safe at first. Looked like it was a designed hit and run, but David Fernandez didn't swing, and Giovanni Torres kind of caught out to dry.
You know, Fernandez squared around the bunt, trying to work the runner over. You know, Solano likes to play small ball, and it's proven and it works, you know, especially in a tight game like this, 0-0 pitching duel. And that's a balk, and everybody in the crowd heard that one. He just, I can't even tell you what it is. I can just tell it was a balk. It was really slow.
Well, I saw Giovanni Torres point over, and then the umpire, the base umpire,
Justin
Haiti, called for the box. So now no force out at second. So no double play unless there's a great throw or base running error.
And you know, this takes a little pressure off Fernandez. He was looking like he was a square around the bunt and just try to work the runner over, play a little small ball. But now he gets the bat back in his hand, so now you can take a hack at it.
And he still lays it down. Great bunt over to first, a little low.
Oh, and it looked like he got a snow cone over there from Raymond Kerr. A good bunt by David Fernandez gets the job done.
So now you have Giovanni over at third.
Now batting
2 outs.
third baseman, number 1, Tucker Bishop.
Tucker Bishop at the plate now. Laid down a sacrifice bunt in his first at bat.
Tucker Bishop
first play
had a
appearance.
stellar second half of the year for the Falcons last season. And he's looking to continue that success this season. Just hasn't been able to get anything going yet, but I'm sure he'll break out of this slump.
That ball hits the inside of the plate for strike number 1. Giovanni Torres taking some big, heavy footsteps, try to throw off the pitcher.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do over at third base.
Big swing and a miss for Tucker Bishop, strike 2.
It was looking like he was looking fastball, and the changeup came, just pulled the string, and had him way out in front. Count 0-2. Tucker Bishop.
Jackson deals. Just gets a piece of that one to stay alive. Fouled off.
Way to go down and get that ball and make sure it wasn't going to be called strike and just foul it off. That's a really tough pitch to lay off just to make contact. Excellent job by Tucker Bishop.
And swings at that one, just topped it over to Jack Amaro at short, over to Raymond Kerr. So they get a runner over to third, but leave him there. So no hit or no runs in the third, over to the top of the fourth. So we're on to the top of the fourth here. Dylan Dumape settling in. 2 strikeouts in the third. And up first in the top of the fourth is Anthony Colton.
3, 4, 5 hitters coming up for the Eagles. Colton singled in his first at-bat.
And then stole a base. First pitch right there for strike number 1. Thought we might be able to have our center field camera here today, but something's wrong with the cable at some point. So, big sweeping curveball in there, strike 2.
You know, when Dumape gets that curveball working and his changeup starts to find a location, he's really hard to hit. He hits his location with the fastball. I guess you think fastball come up with the curveball changeup, have you fooled?
That ball in the dirt, another curveball.
What a block by Ian Acosta. To slide over, keep that ball right in front of him, and just pocket it.
And we saw Dylan Dumape miss with that curveball early, so he's kind of settling in and finding it again.
This one's fouled down the left field line. You know, second time through the lineup, you already seen these guys once, and now you got to kind of re-strategize. And you know, the further you get in the game, you find a group, and you really start getting loose at this point. You know, you come out of the bullpen first couple innings, you want it to be quick, but at this point in the game, your arm's fully loose. You're at max capacity. You're ready to just rock and throw.
Curveball also in the dirt.
Man, Acosta is just a wall behind the plate. Nothing's getting by this guy.
Looking like a goalie.
Yeah. Like Evan Novakov. Antti Niemi.
Yeah, there you go.
Novakov was a former Sharks goalie.
That ball bounces off the plate. So, after going down 0-2, Anthony Colton has battled back to make it a full count.
And he's laying off those hard pitches in the dirt.
And just gets a piece of that one to stay alive.
So this is when it becomes a chess match, Mike. Full count and fouls off a couple pitches. You need to figure out what you can blow by him here.
Gets a hold of that one. Going back is Giovanni Torres, but underneath it for out number 1.
What a good run from Gio Torres, especially fighting this sun that's straight up over our heads. A bright sunny day, not a cloud in sight. And be able to run back, keep it in his tracks the whole time, just makes a nice play. Ranging to his left.
So up at the plate now is Brett Laughlin. Flew out to Evan Facenda in his last at-bat. Strike 1 on the outside corner.
That is 5 straight batters that Dimpey has led off with a strike now. He's really settling into this game.
Big swing, but out in front is Laughlin. Strike 2. And that's what you were touching on, the fastball changeup relationship. You look for the same pitch again, and it's 4 or 5 mile an hour slower.
And good
That ball's
waste pitch.
way outside for ball 1.
And you'll see that every time from the Solano team. 0-2, they're going way far outside. They're going to say, hey, if you're going to swing at it, you're not going to do anything with it. We're not.
Especially when you were way out in front and missed badly the last time.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Dimpey has their strikeout of the game. And now coming to the plate for the Eagles is the first baseman, Ray Kerr.
Now batting, first baseman, Raymond Kerr.
And you touched on this in the first game, partner, wearing number 42. Such historical significance to that number.
Jackie Robinson, Mariano Rivera.
Slider over for strike number 1.
You know, being able to wear number 42, you got to do some good things on the field. And this guy does a lot of things right.
Gets a piece of that one, fouls it off. Strike 2.
You know, he plays an excellent first base, as Raymond Kerr does, and he's also a pitcher. He went 5 2/3, gave up 3 earned runs, 4 runs total. He had 7 strikeouts. So he was dealing. And the bullpen wound up losing that game for him.
That ball is outside for ball 1.
Good
But
pitch.
better waste pitch than I thought from the last at bat. A little closer to the strike zone. You don't want to throw it 3 feet outside because then it doesn't do anything for you. That ball up in the zone, swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 straight strikeouts. 3 up, 3 down for the third straight inning. We're on to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th here. Nothing doing in the top of the 4th for Mendocino, and now Solano looking to at least get 1 run across and try to help out Dylan Dumapay, who has just been lights out so far. But, you know, so has Dustin Thaxton.
Yep.
He's had only 4 at-bats in the last inning, 3 the one before, and 4 the one before that. So he's only faced a couple of hitters, too.
He's only about at 30 pitches so far going into the 4th inning, so he's really finding his location.
Big swing and a miss, a whiff from Nick Perez for strike 1.
You know, Nick's really pressing to get a hit here. He wants to get a hit. He's swinging the bat well, making good contact, just needs to find a hole.
Makes contact there and does find a hole, but it's
It's foul.
out of bounds.
And you heard a big yay from the crowd over here. It's a pretty good turnout for a Saturday afternoon here at Billy and Louise.
Nice Duke weather umbrella, sun umbrella. Gets a hold of that one. That one's going to go into right center field, and Nick Perez is on his horse, rounding over to second. He's going for 3.
And he is going to be there.
He's going to be in there standing up for a triple. And as you mentioned, partner, he just needed to find a hole, and he found one there.
He's been swinging the bat well, and, you know, he's just hitting right at people. And you keep swinging the bat well, and you'll find a hole. And the center fielder is down.
It looks like he had to
Anthony
just shake
Colton.
one off. Maybe slipped when he hit the dirt.
Yeah, you could have, you know,
Pulled something.
rolled his ankle.
Yeah.
You know, there might be a little hole or something out there. Go for it.
He's kind of massaging his neck out, so I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't get the
Then maybe
good
if,
look at
if
it.
he's hitting his neck, maybe when he threw, just kind of tweak something there, putting too much stress on it. So a leadoff triple for Nick Perez here in the top of the 4th. Solano has something brewing.
Right fielder,
Let's see if they can
number
capitalize with their big 4-hitter up. Darian Evans, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1 on the day, but he made good contact in the first, just right to the second baseman.
That ball gets across for strike 1. And as I was about to mention, Dustin Thaxton and Dylan Dumapay, 2 different styles, getting the same results. Dustin Thaxton looking and, just gets that one, topped it. And it's going to be out at first, but a run will score. Nick Perez coming home on the play. So, Darian Evans doing what he was asked to do, get the ball in play and get the run home.
You know, that was a really hard play for Jack Amaro to come in on those high chopper over the pitcher's head. He came up, made a nice bare hand play to just beat Gary Evans out at first. But like you said, Evans gets the RBI, gets the job done. Solano now leads 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
Evan Facenda standing in, and that ball is low for strike one. But back to my point, I was saying that Dustin Thaxton relying on his defense, Dylan Dupace striking people out, so 2 ways to go about pitching. Gets a piece of that one. Nick Agliolo over to first for out number two. I lost track of the number of outs there for a second.
Now coming to the plate, number 14, Brandon Mihalic, second baseman.
Number 14.
He's 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out to the first baseman in his last at-bat.
And that ball's right down the middle of the plate for strike one.
A little elevated there, but right down the middle. You're correct there, partner. That's something I would like to see Brandon really, take one out.
That ball is low and away for ball one.
The umpire thought about calling it there, but he recognized a little low and outside.
Ooh, and almost back into the glove, but Giacomo picks it up over to first, out number 3. So Solano scores a run off of Nick Perez's triple in the inning, and we're on to the top of the 5th. And we are back here for the top of the 5th. Dylan Dumapace struck out 4 of the last 6 hitters and is looking to continue his success here in the top of the 5th against Ben Miller.
6, 7, 8 hitters coming up for the Eagles.
That ball is outside for ball number 1. Ben Miller flew out to Evan Facenda in his it was a fly out to Evan Facenda in his first at bat. And that ball is fouled straight back for strike one.
Dumape gets a little help there from Ben Miller. Swung at a pitch out of the strike zone. Would have been called ball high.
So that's one of those juicy fastballs that you're looking for. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And out in front, strike number 3. So 3 straight strikeouts for Dylan Dumape.
The second time through this lineup has been hard on this Eagle team as Dumape has found the secret to get these guys out.
Tyler Beats up at the plate now, lined out to Evan Facenda in his first at-bat.
Hit the ball hard.
Yeah, but right to I think he knobbed it a little bit.
A little fisted.
Yeah.
Still got good contact and gave it a ride.
And that ball is way high for ball 1.
It just looks like Dumape's plant foot slipped out a little bit, causing him to arch his back a little too high and released it just a tad early, so that's the reason why the ball went high.
And gets a hold of that one, but Giovanni Torres ranging over, and that's going to be out number 2. And I'm looking up and down the score sheet. In the last 3 innings, it's either been a fly out to center or a strikeout.
Yeah. Really has, so. Dumape just putting it out there saying, hit me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing. His defense is coming up big for him right now.
But he's also doing the work, a lot of the work himself. Matt Stout up at the plate.
Really has these hitters fooled.
Pops that one up on the first base side. Evan Facenda ranging over, but that one's going to get over the fence. Strike 1.
Little wind that could have held the ball up inside playable territory.
Yeah, but there's no wind today.
None.
It is a very dry, very calm day. Like you said, no clouds in the sky. Beautiful day. Great for baseball.
It's always hard for an outfielder, any fielder that when the ball goes straight up in the air, it's so bright and blue, it's hard to find that white little speck.
That ball is just low. Good frame job for me and Acosta, but not enough for the umpire. Ball 1. Do you think umpires appreciate the framing from catchers? That ball outside for ball 2.
It's.
I used to date a catcher in softball And
I was gonna say you used to.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ball high for ball 3. But she used to say that the umpires would get mad at her for framing the ball at her level.
It depends on the umpire, because if you frame, sometimes the umpire will call it a ball just because you're trying to frame it.
And that ball is also low, so a 5-pitch walk to Matt Stout. That was the first base runner in 4 innings. First runner since the first inning for Mendocino.
So Costa just coming out, telling his teammates they got 2 outs, and coming to the plate is Tanner Mansell, the number 9 hitter, struck out in his first at-bat against Dumapay.
Tanner Mansell, he didn't just strike out. He was way in front of every pitch that was thrown to him.
So let's see if Mansell will make some adjustments.
Swing and knocks that one through into left field. So first pitch swinging, and that's a single for Tanner Mansell.
That's very smart and good awareness to recognize that Dylan Dumapay likes to work ahead in the count. And since the 3rd inning, really since Mansell, his first at-bat, Dylan Dumapay has had a first pitch strike on every at-bat since then.
Nick Agliolo stepping in. 0 for 1 so far. Flew out to center field.
And
also drew a walk. I was getting to that, partner. That ball is low for ball 1.
You know, sometimes it is good to maybe throw a ball and, start off a batter just to throw him off a little bit. Depends on the situation. Trying to get him to chase.
I don't think Dylan Dumapay likes pitching out of the stretch.
Oh, if he would have thrown it there, he would have had him by a mile. But
And I think that's what Fernandez is coming out to say to him.
Fernandez has read something that Matt Stout is doing over at second base.
So if you're a runner on second, when you see a shortstop or second baseman go out to the mound, do you change what you're doing on the base paths?
No, if you can get back, maybe there he probably would have got hosed if there was a good throw over second, but maybe take a half step back. But as a runner, typically, you practice base running all the time, and you know the distance as far out as you can go. And
that is right over the plate for strike 1.
It depends on the pitcher. If the pitcher has a fast pickoff move, then you're going to take a little shorter stride. But if he has a slow one, you're going to get a little bigger. It's just feeling out the pitcher and know where you're comfortable at in order to get back, and you never want to get picked off. That's the worst thing you can have happen. You can really take your team out of an inning and end a rally that way.
And that ball just nicks the corner of the plate for strike 2. I like Dylan Dumapay's slider.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't bring it out too much, but when he does, he's connected on it.
One of those hidden pitches he throws.
Big curveball. Not high enough for the umpire.
That was an excellent pitch there. You're up 1-2 in the count, and that ball looked like it was going to stay in the zone, just dives off. But Angelo, very smart hitter at the plate. The Eagles' best hitter so far early in this season. Checks the runner over at second base, I should say.
He checks all the runners.
Yeah.
He's just stepping off the mound saying, don't try anything cute. Looks off the runner. Looks back again. Kicks and fires. Over to Brandon Mihalic. Goes over to first. Evan Facenda out number 3. So 2 runners on, but they get nothing in the top of the 5th. We're on to the bottom. 7, 8, 9 hitters. 2 up for Solano in the bottom of the 5th. Bobby Contreras, Ian Acosta, and Giovanni Torres. And so what's Dylan Dumapay looking like so far through 5?
Dylan Dumapay is around 70 pitches right now, and he has 5 strikeouts, and he's been cruising since the first inning, he only allowed 2 base runners since the first inning, and really got into his own zone. It's been a pitcher battle here, and same goes for Dustin Thaxton.
Lays down a drag bunt, third base side, and beats the throw from Matt Stout.
Excellent drag bunt by Bobby Contreras. Placed it perfectly. Third baseman Matt Stout had a tough play. He should have barehanded it, but he picked it up with his glove, giving the extra half second to Bobby Contreras get down the line. The reason why he was safe, it was a bang-bang play. If he barehands that, makes a good throw, he would have been out.
But great base running from Bobby Contreras. Up at the plate now, Ian Acosta. Grounded out to shortstop on his last at bat.
Ian Acosta has a .478 on base percentage.
Also lays down a drag bunt to Matt Stout over to first, and this time the throw is in time for out number 1.
That was more of a sacrifice bunt. You know, just make sure you get the bunt down, move the runner over. Excellent bunt, put it exactly where you want it. But, you know, Matt Stout made an excellent play by charging in, making the right play, and barely getting the run over at first.
And that's why I like the drag bunt, because you don't allow the pitcher to know you're going to bunt. So he throws a pitch like he's pitching to you, and you get a better pitch to bunt at.
You see a lot of drag bunts coming from left-handed hitters because they just take it with them down the line and they got to go. And Gio Torres up at the plate now. He had a walk in his first at-bat.
Also trying to bunt that one down. Comes back, almost hits us. But
I got it.
I've taught myself not to flinch at those sort of things. You made fun of me the last time. It's not happening again.
Can't flinch. We're right behind home plate. There's a net and a bunch of cement wall. You know, a big old cement wall.
The cement wall I'm fine with, but the net.
There's no holes in the net.
Well, I mean there are holes in the net. I'm looking through the net right now. Looks the runner back at second.
But it's meshed well together, so you don't have to worry about a ball flying back here and hitting us.
It's one of those irrational fears like flying and bugs, I guess.
Bugs, spiders. And there's a strike called there.
Big curveball for strike number 2.
A backdoor curve, hit the outside corner. So Gio finds himself in the hole 0-2. And Bobby Contreras over at second base. They get their sign.
Do you still try to lay down a bunt? I mean, you failed the first time, and now you got 2 strikes.
In my case, I wouldn't, because 2 strikes, you bunt it, foul, you're out. Takes a hack at it, and that's a foul ball. Almost a swinging bunt.
And good heads-up play from Tyler Beach to try to keep that one fair. He caught it in fair ground, but the ball was foul.
The ball never went past home plate. It never went into fair territory. It was in neutral territory. And
Gotcha.
He picked it up while he was in fair and foul territory. If the pitcher grabbed it, then it would have been a fair ball. One of those judgment calls by the home plate umpire.
Takes off for third. Giovanni Torres just gets a piece of it. So
that was a designed hit and run right there. That would have been ball 1, but Gio Torres swung at it to protect his runner.
Yeah, because I think he would have been hosed at third. Because that ball was high, so good clean pick and throw.
And the catcher, Tyler Beach, was already standing up, ready to come out and throw the ball over to third base. So
it was a pitch out and a hit and run on the same play. So
not really a pitch out, just a high pitch. But he read it. He saw the runner
pitch
take
up,
off.
I guess.
Pitch up.
Gets a piece of that one. And that falls under the glove of Nick Agliolo. And they're coming home, and he is out. So they took a chance. Bobby Contreras gets thrown out at home for the second game this season. But Giovanni Torres, good heads-up play, goes on to the second on that play.
The air is going to go on the second baseman, Nick Agiglio. David Fernandez now coming to the plate, so Gio Torres is over on second base. Let's see if David can come up with a big 2-out hit here to put another run on the board for the Falcons.
Swinging at the first pitch over to the shortstop, over to first for out number 3.
Beat it, but nope.
So they almost score a run, but they throw him out at home. Nothing doing here. We're on to the 6th inning. And the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up, starting with Jack Amaro. ball high for ball number 1.
And it looked like he might have gone around. They're checking down at first, and they say he does not go around, so it will be ball 1.
Pulled the back just in time. So 70 pitches through 5 innings for Dylan Dumape. Ball 2, high as well.
Roughly 70 pitches.
Yeah, we don't have the exact.
We got a ballpark. We're within 5 or 6.
We need to get one of those
The
little clickers. Yeah. And over to Brandon Mihalich, who knocks it down, throws it over to first, out number 1.
So good hands by Brandon Mihalich. Flip it over to Vicenda to get the first out of the inning.
Center fielder.
And now up, Anthony Colton, the center fielder.
1 for 2.
1 for 2, and stole a base in the first inning, and then flew out to center in the 4th. And let's see if that neck injury or shoulder injury or whatever, we don't know.
He's not injured, just a little tweaks. It happens
well,
during the
it
game.
might affect something, but strike number 1.
Once again, Dylan Dumape working ahead in the count. Big curveball. Goes back to the backstop for ball 1. Ian Acosta kind of did the Ole, little try to backhand. No runners on, so it's okay.
We add some style points to it if you can get to it.
Count goes 1-1.
Some deals, and that curveball nicks the strike zone for strike number 2.
Looked like Colton didn't know what to do. He wanted to bunt. He didn't want to bunt. He was kind of just like,
He gave up on the pitch. He thought it was going to be high. And the curveball just sliced back down into the zone.
You know, you don't really want to bunt a curveball because the spin tends to cause it to pop up.
Another curveball gets away from Acosta for ball 2.
Now, I would expect Dylan Dumape to come back with a fastball here. Through 2 straight curveballs.
And another curveball over to David Fernandez, who picks it up, throws it over to first. Nice throw from David Fernandez to get him out, second out of the inning.
That was a fastball, partner.
Was it a fastball?
That was a
It looked like it. Looked like it had some sort of break
It did
to
have
it.
some spin. He throws kind of a cutter.
Yeah,
Kind of four-seam
so
cutter.
maybe a little bit. I call it his slider. I've been calling it his slider today.
Slider has a little bit of tighter break, but that was a fastball.
All right.
Told you he was coming back with the fastball.
You just want to be right. I'm not convinced.
Brett Laughlin at the plate.
Swings on the first pitch he sees over to Darian Evans, who is under it. And so 3 up, 3 down for Mendocino, and we're on to the bottom of the 6th. So Solano up here in the bottom of the 6th. Thought they'd have another run to have a 2-0 lead, but only 1-0 Solano's lead. And Tucker Bishop is due up first in the 6th inning. 0 for 1.
Justin Thaxton coming in for his 6th inning of work. You know, he's been cruising. He's only around 51 pitches.
Strike number 1. And, I mean, you would expect Dylan Dumape's pitch count to be a lot higher. He has the 5 strikeouts, so. And that makes 21 for Mendocino in this 3-game series. And he tops this one over to the shortstop, takes a weird hop, but over to Raymond Kerr for out number 1.
That took the hop right where the grass and the dirt meet. And, you know, sometimes you got a little, you know, you walk on it, you kind of make a little hole, and that's what will cause it to pop up. And
Now batting.
now coming to the plate, number 13, Nick Perez, DH.
I was getting to that. I had it.
And he had a triple in his last at-bat, and that triple came off an 0-2 count. So he's been aggressive at the plate all day, 1 for 2.
And now they're shading him right of center. And so he goes the other way to left field.
And he can't.
And Tanner Manziel lets it go over his head. And so Nick Perez will have a stand-up double.
You know, Mansell never saw it. He knew he had to go back.
The Suns are right going that way.
I told you, it is hard to see. You can't even account him there for an error just because never made contact with it, just flat out lost it.
Right fielder, number 9.
So up now, Darian Evans, the right fielder, he topped that one over the pitcher's mound to score Nick Perez in the 4th inning. And then grounded out to second base in his first at bat. So 0 for 1 with an RBI. So also swings at the first pitch he sees, pokes it into right field. They're going to hold Nick Perez at third, so we got runners at the corners with nobody out.
And, you know,
One out, I'm sorry.
Ben Miller shown earlier in this game, actually last inning when he threw out Bobby Contreras at home, that he has an arm.
So, and Bobby Contreras, much better runner than Nick Perez. So if he can get Bobby Contreras, he can get Nick Perez.
Exactly. You know, 1 out. You know, you get your 2 big guys up. Now you have Evan Facenda,
who went yard in the last game. So he's looking to hit a 3-run jack in this one. And I think that's what they may be talking about. I'm sorry. I'm getting tongue twisted a little bit. But that may be what the meeting is about.
And Cameron Abrams is getting loose in the bullpen as Dustin Thaxton finds himself in a pickle here with 1 out and runners on first and third in the top of the 6th, down by 1 run. So Mendocino.
Do you think about walking Facenda and trying to get Mihalic?
Not at all.
No?
You have a double play situation here. You know, if Darian Evans steals the bag, then yeah, maybe you want to try your luck with Brandon Mihalic and have the bases loaded. But
you just don't want to give up a home run. So.
Well, not only that, you have double play situation here. Both these guys don't have the best speed on the base path, so you just gotta let
Darian Evans can rumble though.
Yeah, he can, but it's a 1-0 ball game. It's not like it's 3-0. You don't want to put any more base runners on than you have to.
And they may be just trying to stall for time while Cameron Abrams gets loose.
Well, the catcher was just giving his signs to his fielders to let them know what they're going to do on first and third. If the runner takes off, are they going to hold the runner at third? Are they going to try to have the shortstop crash in, and he throws to the shortstop to bait a throw
and fouls that one back, so a little bit of a safety squeeze.
You know, a lot can go on with first and third. If the runner takes off at second, so many different variables that could happen. So everybody needs to be on the same page on the infield.
Infield at double play depth.
Corners are in. Well, Raymond Kerr's holding on Darian Evans at first, straddling the bag.
Just takes a mighty hack at that one.
And that one was a hit and run as Darian Evans took off. And
yeah, because I don't think you swing at that one normally.
Evan Vicente is a smarter hitter than that. He just knew he had to protect his runner.
His back foot came up and kind of just olayed at that one. So now with 2 strikes, a lot of those options are taken out of play.
You know, shorten up your stride here, quick hands, and just make contact with the ball and battle. Don't get caught at looking anything. Don't get caught looking.
Oh, and he drops the ball, and they have a pickoff situation, and the run is scored. And so that is going to be a double play. Does the run score on that one?
The run does score. The run scored. That's the reason why you get caught in the pickle like that. You want to make sure the run scores, then you can be out.
So the run scores, and they add to their lead 2-0 as we go to the top of the 7th. So in the top of the 7th, the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up. Raymond Kerr up to bat. Struck out in his last at bat. Solano scores a run in the bottom of the 6th to add on to their lead, and so Mendocino needs to get their bats to wake up. And swings and misses at a high first pitch for strike 1.
And you know that run that Solano scored, it was a strike him out, throw him out, but a good heads-up play by Darian Evans. Recognized he was going to get thrown out at second base, causing a pickle.
And a good heads-up play from Nick Perez.
Yep, to recognize that he is in a pickle, so just get to the go score before they tag him out, which they did. They get a run on the board, which could prove to be a crucial run now. Solano's up 2-0.
And you wanted to get some insurance runs for Dylan Tube, who has been lights out so far today. Ooh, and that was just a bit outside for ball 1.
You know, if I'm Raymond Kerr, I'm swinging at that pitch. That's too juicy to let go.
I think he could have done something with that one, but swings at the curveball. Tucker Bishop going back, trying to make a play on it, and that one's going to be foul.
And that ball just kept tailing away, and Bobby Contreras was on his horse also. He couldn't get to it.
And we're feeling a little bit of a slight breeze start to pick up, so maybe that could have contributed to it. Count as 1-2.
So last pitch from Dunapay was a big curveball, which Raymond Kerr flew down the left field line. So I expect Dunapay to come back here with maybe a changeup fastball.
Or maybe a slider, but you call it a fastball.
Nope.
And that ball is over the head of everybody,
Just
but Ian Acosta.
Just a hair high. Just
Ian,
a hair.
Ian Acosta gets in front of it, or gets a glove on it. Right down the middle of the plate, Raymond Kerr swings on it, and he is on his horse on his way to second. Darian Evans gets it. They're going for 3, and he is going to slide into third. Raymond Kerr with a triple.
Leadoff tripper here in the top of the 7th inning. And Dumapay just left a fastball fat right down the
Yeah,
middle.
that was a juicy meatball.
And, you know, Raymond Kerr with excellent speed. Darian Evans had a strong throw to Mihalic, just a hair high.
Miller.
And also got kind of stuck in between the fence and the dirt, so didn't get a good bounce back to Darian Evans. He had to go and get it out of the dirt. And a lot of things went right for Raymond Kerr on that one to get a leadoff triple. Ben Miller looking to drive him in now. High for ball 1.
You know, I know you were asking me, partner, you know, when's a good time to pull out your pitcher, get somebody to start loosening up in the bullpen. And, you know, it's a 2-0 ball game. Dumapay is on his game right now, but I wouldn't be surprised. He needs to get a big strikeout here. See if he can shut him down.
And that ball is outside for ball 2, so 2-0 the count. And now that run they score in the 6th, that becomes a much bigger run. That ball is low, so the count goes to 3-0.
And we see some action down in Solano bullpen as Nathan Genist is getting ready. You saw him earlier against Mendocino in the game on Tuesday, pitched an inning. Right down the middle, called strike 1 to Ben Miller. Count goes 3-1. And he had the red light the entire way, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, as a player, I think you would not want the red light. You want to swing at something. Swings at that one, fouls it off, so count runs full, 3-2. But like I was saying, you're a hitter. You know that you're going to get something good.
But at the
I
same
feel like
time,
the red light is
but-
your coach not trusting you to have an eye for the ball.
well, only select players get the green light on 3-0, or if it's a little bit different score. You need base runners at this point in the game, down 2-0 in the 7th inning. You only have 9 outs to work with.
And that is ball 4. So runners out of the corners now with nobody out. And up steps Tyler Beats, who's 0 for 2 today, but looking to make something happen here.
Now batting, catcher, Tyler
So
Beats.
Stover is going to go out and have a talk with his starting pitcher, Dylan Dumapay.
I think the strategy here is you'll give up the run to get the double play. You have the 2-0 lead, so if they score 1, it's no big deal. Try to empty the bases in a good way.
Exactly, double play. You know, trade a couple outs for a run here. Still got 2 runs. You see a good shot of Coach Stover there talking to his team.
And he also might be, trying to get some more time for Nathan Genist to get loose.
Oh, most definitely. You see a shot of there, Genist, warming up the right-handed pitcher.
Great shot by our cameraman, Lonnie. Oh, I'm not. That was Poff. I'm sorry. That was our fearless leader, Greg Poff.
Professor Poff.
Professor. The doctor.
The doctor.
The colonel.
Yeah.
General.
El Capitan. Or Big Kahuna, as his,
There
as
you
his
go.
boys like to call him. Oh, good
Pitch out.
Back pick. That was a good play. Good design play. Just didn't get him.
So, obviously, ball number 1. Count goes to 1-0.
And you saw there that Tyler Beats squared around the bunt. Squares around again.
Ball high for ball number 2.
And you know, at this point in the ball game, if he's going to bunt, you got to let him bunt. You know, you got to make sure of an out. And if you get the bunt down, you can hold the runner at third base. If it's right back to the pitcher, make the out. Runners with second and third. But you can't afford to walk another batter here.
And that is across the plate for strike 1.
You know, that's where Solano gets into trouble, is when they start walking batters and making errors. When they play fundamentally sound, they're a tough team to beat.
That is strike number 2.
Very aggressive by Dylan Dumapay. Down 2-0 in the count, come back, work the count 2-2. He's digging deep right here. He knows he needs this one.
This will probably be his last batter regardless of what happens.
Possibly.
I mean, unless he strikes him out, I guess, but throw over to first just to check the runner.
You know, me personally, I never like to throw over, especially when the runner's so close, because you always have the chance of making an error, overthrowing, and that'll allow the runner at third.
Or if you throw it too much on the runner, then the first baseman can't get a glove on it.
Those are one of those you just step off and look at him, make sure he goes back, let him know you're looking.
That ball is high, so the count runs full 3-2.
Don't be surprised to see Ben Miller take off here with a full count. So Dumapay has working on a full count.
And you don't want to give in to Tyler Beats here and throw him something across the plate. You still want to make him work for his pitches, or for his hits. Swing and just missed that one straight back, so the count remains full.
And I'm watching the Mendocino third base coach giving the signs and trying to see if I can pick up on their steal sign or their indicator. Runner takes off, swings.
A swing and a miss. So we reset and do it again.
And I think I may have figured out the indicator and their signs over here. So we'll see if they'll do it again.
They do it again. So the runner's on the move.
So he's going to go as soon as Dumapay lifts that front foot.
So now would be a great time to throw over to first.
It would. Excellent job. And they're making sure they're going to get the out, run him all the way back here. They're going to let the run score. So run scores for Mendocino, but they get the out as they pick off Ben Miller at first base.
The count's still full. But now
Nobody on.
nobody on. It's a much easier situation for Dylan Dumapay. Now you can only tie the game.
You know, that was a crucial out. Now full count, one pitch away from getting 2 outs in this inning.
And he swings and he fouls that one back too. And the score is 2-1 Solano. We haven't updated our scoreboard yet, but the run did score on that one. So, yeah, there you go. 2-1 Solano.
Tyler Beats having himself a good at-bat off Dylan Dumapay. Seeing a lot of pitches.
And swings and ropes that one foul.
Just barely foul.
And Nathan Jennis is ready to go. So you have to believe that this is Dylan Dumapay's last batter. Because you don't want him to be up there for so long that he wastes all his pitches, right?
You know, he's close to the 100 pitch mark. I believe he's roughly around 95 pitches. That's without all these foul balls that Tyler Beats has been fighting off. So it's safe to say that this is Dumapay's last batter.
And he walks him.
So good at bat from Tyler Beats to draw the walk. Mendocino has something working here again in the top of the 7th. Already put 1 run on the board. And we have ourselves a pinch hitter coming in.
Number 21,
Dylan
Dylan Miller. And so that is going to bring in Nathan Jennis. So Dylan Dumapay's day is done. 6 2/3. Only 1 run allowed. 5 strikeouts. I don't know how many hits. I'll have to do we'll get you the final stat line in a minute.
3 hits on the day.
3 hits on the day. 3 walks. 4 walks. But a round of applause as Dylan Dumapay comes off the mound.
And that is very well deserved for this young man. He came out and threw strong 6 2/3, and just kind of ran out of gas here in the last inning with that leadoff triple from Raymond Kerr. And it's really got Mendocino back in this game as they put one on the board. But man, Dylan Dumapay, he impresses me every single time he comes out on the field. He may not have his best stuff, but he's a gamer, man. Straight gamer.
Yeah, and I mean, almost the same stat line that I threw against Santa Rosa, but less runs.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that game, he pitched 5 2/3 with 6 strikeouts and 3 earned runs. This time, only 1 earned run, but he does have the runner on first. So, if that runner were to score, it would be his earned run. But Nathan Jennis coming in. First time we've seen him. Oh, I'm sorry. He did pitch in that game on Tuesday.
Came in in the 8th inning. He had 1 walk, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no earned runs. So he got some help from his outfielders and his shortstop.
So, since we have a break in the action, let's do a little station identification. You're listening to SCSN, the Solano College Sports Network, your home for Solano sports. I'm Mike McLeod here with Stosh Samoida, bringing you Solano Falcons baseball action here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium. It's 2-1 Solano in the top of the 7th inning. Nathan Jennis going against Dylan Miller.
The pinch hitter. First pitch high and outside. Count goes. We want to know.
So Matt Stout's day is done.
And he was 0 for 1 on the day. He had a walk.
Big swing and just missed it. Fouled it off for strike number 1. And Dylan Miller's got a little bit of pop to him.
Mm-hmm. He's like a bulldog up there. He's batting .667 on the year, but he has 2 hits and 3 at-bats, so hasn't seen much action so far. Runner goes, and it's fouled off for strike number 2. Hit and run design there.
The hit and run has to be a little nerve-wracking for a pitcher. I mean, you don't know until it's happening, but...
A pitcher, half the time they don't even know. They're just rocking and firing. They're just so zoned in on the catcher's glove. I mean, of course they know the runner's going, but that's not going to affect their way they pitch. Maybe try to throw the ball up a little more. Time is called. Dylan Miller asked for it, and he got it. So to count 1 and 2, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Tyler Beats over on first base. He reached on a walk.
Big curveball there. Strike 3 called. So Dylan Miller strikes out looking.
Now batting, left fielder.
I'm sorry. I said that Dylan Dumapay went 6 2/3. He only went 6
I was
1/3.
just looking at that, too.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same exact thing. But you know what? Tanner Mansell, left fielder, coming up to the plate. 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. He fouls this one over the right field side.
Strike 1. Tanner Mansell has a strikeout and a single. 1 for 2 on the day.
I just said that.
Did you say that, partner? I tend not to pay attention to you.
I've noticed.
Low for ball number 1. Tam Enzel, 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a single.
Oh, man. And another foul.
And another foul. Oh, that was a great basketball
Yeah,
season.
it was a great basketball season. It was disappointing the way it turned out, but, you know, the girls, 18 straight victories. Wow.
That ball is also low for ball number 2.
So the coach just telling him to swing away here and get a base hit for his team. And
as a relief pitcher, you feel even more responsible for that runner on first. I mean, you have to, right? Ball low for ball number 3.
You know, it's your job to come in and shut down. Don't allow another run to score. Your inherited runners is a big stat, especially in the Major League Baseball for relief pitchers. You know, number of runners inherited to runs produced. And, you know, baseball is a game of stats. There's stats for everything. How many times you pick your nose in the game? They have that too.
Big swing, gets a hold of it. Giovanni Torres underneath it for out number 3. So Mendocino scores 1 in the inning, but leaves a runner on. We're on to the bottom of the 7th. So, due up for Solano in the 7th inning. Brandon Mihalic, Bobby Contreras, and Ian Acosta.
Brandon Mihalic 0 for 2 on the day, looking for his first hit. Dustin Thaxton comes out to the mound for to start his 7th inning of work. He's only around 60 pitches so far, so his pitch count is low, but he has given up 2 runs. And both RBIs go to Evan Vicenda had an RBI and Darian Evans. Mihalic swings at the first pitch, foul for strike 1.
So Thaxton, much more efficient with his pitches so far today. A little bit lower pitch count. I'm sorry.
Comes back with another fastball, and he fouls this one off down the left field line for strike number 2. And you see Thaxton shaking off a couple pitches from his catcher, Breitz, looking for that right pitch.
Come back with 2 fastballs. So
look for that big curveball here. And he doesn't. He comes back with another fastball.
And he cannot get his hands on it, or his glove on it, Nick Agliolo. So, Brandon Mihalic has a single.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you're going to score that error single. But
no, it was going to be a tough throw regardless. We saw David Fernandez in the first at-bat of the game. This exact same thing happened.
Just the fact he got a glove on it. I mean, he has incredible range over there.
Yeah.
That ball was a hot shot up the middle. But Bobby Contreras at the place now. Squares around the bunt. And last at bat, he actually reached on a bunt. On that squeeze bunt.
A 1-0 the count. Hey, he drag bunted it down the third base line.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Come back over to first. Brandon Mihalic back in time.
Good job of getting dirty. Make sure leave no doubt that you are safe. Don't make the umpire question it. Ooh, and a slash from Bobby Contreras.
Hit and run.
Pull, fake bunt, pull back, runners on the move. You got a lot of players moving. There's a lot more holes.
Because then you're coming forward. Then you got to come back, and you got to throw off the fielders more than anything.
And down in Mendocino's bullpen, we have a righty. Looks like a little sidewinder.
And he does lay the bunt down. Thrown out at first, but the runner goes over to second. Brandon Mihalic at second.
Bobby Contreras got the job done once again. Lays down another bunt. Gets the runner over to second base, puts his teammate in scoring position, helps out his team. Now Ian Acosta coming up to the plate.
Ian Acosta.
Base hit, scores a run.
Yeah, and they're looking for any type of run support. If they could get their bats to wake up, and be a lot easier for Nathan Genist or whoever comes in for the 8th inning. You got to expect that Fernandez is going to go over.
Ooh, and Costa holds up on that one. That ball's low in the dirt. Count goes 1-0. So Thaxton's showing a little signs of fatigue. And there's, like I was touching on, 2 pitchers in the Mendocino bullpen, righty and a lefty, and the righty sidewinder.
Oh, and he steps into this one, gets it, and going back, and Anthony Carlton gets the out. So beautiful, great range from Anthony Carlton. I was going to say beautiful range, beautiful play.
Once again, I think Tanner Mansell's having a hard time over there fighting that sun, so he's relying on Anthony Carlton to pick up some of his slack for him.
Giovanni Torres.
And Ian Acosta stepped into that one. That looked like some batting practice.
Yeah. You know, Gio Torres is 0 for 1 today, but he's reached base both times with a walk and an error. That was an E4 his last time up. Just skipped off of Nick Angelilo's glove.
Say that guy's name different every single time you say it.
He must hate me.
Yeah, public enemy number 1, Stasha Zamoida. I mean, you don't have a lot of room to talk about. You got to make sure you say names correctly.
Well, nobody can say my name right either, so.
I say it right, but I've known you for a while. So. Strike at the knees.
So Gio Torres takes the first pitch strike.
2 down in the inning. 0-1 the count.
You know, it's a good pitch to lay off because those curveballs hard down low. Those are hard to hit and actually make good solid contact. Dirty ball, good block by Tyler Bees. Count goes 1-1. Beats.
And that ball is high, and Tyler Bees looking for somebody to be on second base to try to throw him out, but nothing doing.
You know, he's just popping up a little quick just to put the fear in Brandon Mihalic over at second base. To,
put
hey,
the fear in.
Yeah, just to make sure, hey, I'm not afraid to throw over, so you better get back to the base. And the one time that he does take it off, you know, kind of lollygags back to the base, he's going to be picked off. So you got to be on your game. And Beats has shown that he does have a strong arm behind the dish and can make that throw down a second.
Solano's dugout, kind of quiet. He swings and he ropes one into left field, but Tanner Mansell underneath it. So they strand one. We're at the bottom of the top of the 8th inning. So Nathan Jennis' day is done. We have a pitching change. Chris Rost coming in. Number 11, the big right-hander.
He pitched 3 innings in the game on Thursday up in Ukiah against his Mendocino team. He had 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Solano had 10 strikeouts on the day, 10 coming from Drew Lamont, who pitched strong for the Falcons.
And that ball is inside for ball number 1. Nick Agliolo at the plate. Still looking for his first hit of the day.
Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 1.
Chris Roast, good over-the-top release.
Hey.
And that ball is just high for ball 2.
Chris Ross, as you touched on, throws straight over the top. And when you do that, you got to be able to throw a hard fastball because the release point is pretty easy to pick up. And you got to back it up with some dirty stuff.
That ball is low for ball 3, so the count goes to 3-1. And that ball is tipped off and in there for strike number 2.
And, you know, Nick wasn't looking for a fastball there, and Chris just jammed him with the fastball in the inside corner. Always a tough pitch to get around on.
Swings on that one, but that one will be foul down the left field side. So we reset and do it again. The count remains full.
You know, Chris Ross just threw it right down the heart of the plate and said, here it is, go ahead and hit it. And
a little country hard ball from Chris Roast.
You know, Nick just got a piece of it and fouled it off.
And that ball is inside. So a 7-pitch walk, 8-pitch walk. And second walk for Nick Agliolo
Jack Amaro.
in the game, 4th on the season.
Jack Amaro coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today with the strikeout. Backwards K in the book if you're scoring at home.
I had a sack bunt in the first. I don't think that counts.
Okay, we'll go for 2. Oh. And Ross has a quick move over to first and kind of fooled Facenda there.
Yeah, it stayed a little bit high. Chris Ross is a big boy. He is tall on the mound.
And the perk of being tall is long legs and allows you to get more.
Lays
strength.
down a bunt, Jack Amaro. Great bunt. Chris Ross over to first for out number 1, but the runner does advance. Nick Agliolo over to second. So now a base hit will score a run.
Now batting, center fielder, Anthony Colton.
Anthony Colton coming to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the day. 1 for 3 on the day. Base hit in the first and the stolen base also. And he's flied out to center field and grounded out to the shortstop. And Stover's coming out to have a chat with his pitcher. Yeah, there's no action in the bullpen, so he must be talking situation here with the 3-banger Anthony Colton up.
Well, you don't want to let things get too out of hand. You're only nursing a 1-run lead, and you got Anthony Colton at the plate, Brett Laughlin coming up, Raymond Kerr. If you get that far, he had a triple in his last at bat, so you want to make sure you keep the base paths pretty quiet. I can't talk today. I'm trying to say so much in so little time.
You know, the 3-4-5 hitters are heart of the order from this Eagles team. They really haven't done much today, but doesn't say that they can't. Because they proved it last Tuesday when they beat Solano 7-3.
Yeah, and they put up 5 runs in the first inning in that game, so they can put it up in a hurry.
But it was also a lot of walks and errors in that first inning for Solano, which caused Mendocino to get that rally.
High for ball 1. So Chris Roast having a little bit of trouble getting it down into the zone, keeping his pitches elevated, which is not what you want to do. Gets that one down, and it is roped foul.
And the bullpen catcher down there bodied up and knocked the ball down. Good play by the bullpen catcher.
So the count is now 1-1. Chris Roast looks the runner back.
Fakes the throw. So just checking on the runner. Count stays at 1-1. 1 out, top of the 8th. Runner on second. Anthony Colton at the plate. Chris Ross really needs to get a big out here.
I notice he kind of stands up straight when he looks into the catcher. And that ball misses. Fastball. So the count goes to 2-1. But you see a lot of guys, they usually lean in to get a better view of the catcher, but Chris Ross standing tall.
It's all preference.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change anything. Kicks and deals also outside, so 3-1 the count.
And, you know, he may need to slow up his when he's coming set, he's really rushing his pitches. If he just takes a half a second longer, maybe collect himself a little bit more and throw the ball right down the middle. 3-1 the count.
And just missed that one, does Anthony Colton. So the count goes full.
So I'm going to look for some good old-fashioned country hard ball here from Chris Ross. Expect that big fastball right down the middle here, saying go ahead and hit me.
He did give up a walk the last time the count ran full to Nick Agliolo,
who is standing on second base. Dirty ball.
And the runner's going to go to third. So now that was the worst case scenario for Chris Rose. Now runner's at the corner with one out in the inning, and up steps Brett Laughlin.
And now this is where the strategy part of the game really kicks in. You know, you're in the 8th inning. Do you try for a double play? Do you throw the runner out at second? What do you do here? Only up by 1 run.
David Novelli going down to get warmed up.
And we saw Novelli last game. He actually pitched 1 inning with 2 strikeouts. Faced 3 batters, 2 strikeouts, and had the other guy fly out. He had a pretty good outing last time against this Mendocino team.
Hopefully he won't even have to get in here, and Chris Rose will get a double play in this at-bat.
So time called by Brett Laughlin.
Tucker Bishop talking to Chris Roast.
Who tries to do the 31 move.
And didn't you mention in an earlier broadcast that that's now illegal?
That is now illegal in Major League Baseball. It will be called a balk starting this year, which I agree with it. That is kind of a little cheater play, but I know I use it when I used to pitch.
Brett Laughlin squaring up to bunt. Pitch up and out of the zone.
Nick Angelo or
Agliolo.
Agliolo.
Nope. Agliolo.
Agliolo.
There you go.
Had a big lead off of third base, and
You heard the third base coach saying back, 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 back. Squaring up to bunt again. Gets that one down, but it is foul. Oh,
that's
kicks
a
fair.
That's a fair ball. That is a fair ball. Facenda didn't know what to do with it there, so the runner advances, the run scores, and he gets the out.
Stover is upset with that one. Evans Facenda, not a heads-up play. Thought that one was foul for a minute.
That's why you never give up on a bunt, because it can catch a rock, go back into fair territory. That's exactly what happened there. So now the game is tied 2-2. 2 outs, and Raymond Kerr coming into the plate now. He tripled in his last at-bat.
Swing and a miss, strike one.
You know, Anthony Carlton now over on second base. He could take the lead if he scores.
Big swing and a miss, strike two. And I think Raymond Kerr is trying to make this a 4-2 ball game.
And you know, excellent use of the changeup there by Chris Rost. Set it, his fastball set up that big changeup. Oof.
Ooh, and just a bit outside for ball one.
You know, that's what happened last time with Raymond Kerr. He laid off something like that in the 7th inning. He had a 2-2 count. Let the close pitch go, so the umpire's not calling it, so you don't got to swing at it. Oh.
And he throws it into center field. They're waving him in. A good throw from Giovanni Torres, and he drops the ball. So good heads-up base running from Anthony Carlton, and Mendocino takes a 3-2 lead off of some errors from Solano, and that's been the Achilles heel of this team all year.
You know, just that little bunt that Facenda didn't really quite know if it was fair or foul, allowed Anthony Carlton to get to second base. If he would have been aggressive and heads up, he could have thrown to second, turn it around for first, double play, you're out of the inning. Instead, you got a runner on second, try to back pick him, have him hosed, and Ross just threw that one into center field.
And strike three. So Mendocino scores 2, and we're on to the bottom of the 8th inning. So here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Justin Thaxton's day is done. 7 strong innings, 5 hits allowed, 2 earned runs allowed with a strikeout and a walk. And on the mound now is Cameron Abrams, number 23 for Mendocino.
Cameron Abrams has pitched 1 inning of work actually against the Solano team. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, and didn't have a strikeout or a walk. But once again, you touched on in the pregame partner, you know, Solano gets into this Mendocino bullpen. The bullpen isn't as strong as their starters, so let's see if Solano can bounce back and tie this game up when they were once up 2-0, now down 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th.
David Fernandez stepping in. Side winder, but the ball is low for ball number 1. And now you hear Solano getting a little bit more lively.
You know, this team really turns it on when it gets in the crunch time in the later innings. They come alive.
And that ball hits him. So David Fernandez is on base here in the bottom of the 8th. I'm sorry.
You know, that's not a good start from your relief pitcher, and it looks like
his
Cameron
day's
Abrams.
already done.
Yeah.
He was coming in for 1 batter. So he is done.
Doesn't even record a third of an inning. Pitches to 1 batter and hit the batter.
We'll get you the number of the pitcher when we get it. So we have a break in the action. Let's do a little station identification. You're tuned in to SCSN, your home for Solano sports. I'm Michael McLeod here with my broadcast partner, Stosh Zamoida. And it is the bottom of the 8th inning here at Billy and Luis Yarborough Stadium in this 3rd game of the 3-game series between Solano and Mendocino. Each team has won a game on the road. Mendocino is up here late, 3-2. Dave Fernandez on first. Mendocino having a pitching change here.
And Zach Visioni coming to the mound, the right-handed pitcher for the Mendocino Eagles. Freshman pitcher, also does a little catching.
Zach Visioni coming in for his first inning of work here in the season, in the regular season. Nice, good curveball, wearing some stirrups. So, did you wear stirrups when you played?
I'm never a fan of the stirrups.
Did you wear long socks?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
When I pitched, I wore my pants up, but when I was playing in the field or hitting, I wore them down. Superstition type of thing. I just felt when you're pitching, you pull your pant leg up, you can get your knee up a little higher, balance you out to where when your pants are down, you got that little pull. I didn't like the pull, kind of threw me off a little bit, but to each his own, of course.
So Tucker Bishop stands in, hoping to make something happen here late in the game.
David Fernandez was hit by the pitch by Cameron Abrams to lead off the inning. And we got another pitching change. Zach Visioni.
Tucker Bishop.
And his first batter is going to be Tucker Bishop. So, Visioni looks in.
Vicinani. Big strike number 1 for Visioni.
Yeah, comes a little bit over the top, so you pick up that release point and see a fastball in middle zone, turn around, just turn on one and hit it out in the outfield and see what happens. Runner's going.
And no play at all, so Dave Fernandez with a stolen base. And that's big.
That's huge. The extra 90 feet. Now Tucker Bishop, David Fernandez just a base hit away from coming around third and scoring a run, tying this ball game up.
Outfield shaded a little left to center, looking for Tucker Bishop to pull. So if he can poke it out into the right center field area. But it looks like he may be squaring up to bunt, move the runner over to third.
And the outfield is shifted towards left field as center fielder Anthony Colton is shaded over towards left center.
I just said that, partner.
Oh, and Ben Miller also. He pokes this one down the right field line. He can get himself an inside the park home run.
Were you even listening?
No, I wasn't.
So we're even then.
Yeah, we're even. Lot going on behind the scenes over here.
The outfield shaded a little left to center.
Yeah, I blame Chelsea.
Chelsea! Tucker Bishop squaring up to bunt. Gets it down. And a little bobbled. But the throw over to first is in time for out number 1. But David Fernandez moves over to third on the play, so you got a runner on third, less than 2 outs.
And you got your hottest hitter coming to the plate, Nick Perez, who is 2 for 3 on the day with a double and a triple and 2 runs scored. He's been hitting the ball hard all day. I mean, the one time he did get out, he hit a hot line drive into the center fielder's glove. So you see there, Tucker Bishop getting a standing ovation from his teammates, and you see Tucker fire it up in the dugout, getting his team going. So the outfield is playing back.
Pitch high for ball number 1. Constantly looking over at David Fernandez at third. We got a great shot over there. All of our cameramen doing an exquisite job today. Kicks and deals, and that is high again for ball 2.
And you know, it wouldn't hurt too bad if you pitch around Nick Perez here. He is the hottest hitter for this Falcon team. You know, just get it somewhere close on the outside, see if he swings. If not, he first base sets up a double play opportunity. Doesn't have the best wheels, he's not a threat to steal. So 3-0 count now to Nick Perez. What I would do, partner, I would just throw this one, lob it in. Hey, ball 4, take your base.
Yeah, I think that might be what's happening here.
And that's exactly, oh, I thought he was going to stand up over there.
Might give him something just anywhere near the strike zone, not in the intentional walk. Oh, and they're actually pitching to him 3-1 now, the count.
And that pitch was called strike at the letters.
So not giving in to Nick Perez. And that ball is high in ball 4. So now you got runners at the corners with 1 out. And we've seen that a lot today.
Let's see if Solano can capitalize here.
Darian Evans did have a base hit in his last at-bat. 1 for 2 today.
Now batting right fielder, number 9, Darian Evans.
He swung at a first pitch fastball and lined it into right field for a base hit. Then he did get caught stealing, but he got in a pickle and allowed Nick Perez to score, to come around and score in the 6th inning.
We might see something like that again. And almost hit by the pitch, but it's a strike.
He tried to lean into that one, Mike.
He was looking to drag bunt it a little bit and kind of fell out of the box. So 0-1 the count. Darian Evans kind of crowds the plate when he gets up there.
Open stance, runner going.
Swing and a miss. So they give up the double play opportunity.
Hey, Nick Perez got his first stolen base of the season.
There you
Attaboy,
go.
Nick.
Atta boy.
Way to add something to your stat line.
And they didn't throw over to second because they didn't want David Fernandez to double steal and steal home.
Ball dirty, kicks away from the catcher.
He can't find it. And so that will be a run scored. David Fernandez scores easily. Nick Perez goes over to third on the play.
And what a great heads-up base running by David Fernandez. He saw the ball right out of the pitcher's hand and it was going to be dirty. Got a big jump and saw it kick off Tyler Beats. And
Tyler Beats did not know where it was.
You know, that goes on to the pitcher, Zach Visioni. Because as a pitcher, you see it kick away from the catcher. The catcher has a mask. He doesn't know where it is. You got to be yelling, feet, 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 or up the line, first base side. You got to give something to your catcher to help him out. He can't see it.
And that ball is high, so 3-1 the count.
So the leading run is 90 feet away for the Falcons.
Oh, is it 2-2? Is it 2-2 the count?
Count, still
Okay.
2.
I thought it was 3-1 because the ball got away from him, but. Swings and just pokes that one past Raymond Kerr into right field. So another run will score as Nick Perez stands over home plate, and that will be Darian Evans' second RBI of the day.
It may not be pretty, just hit it where they ain't, and that's exactly what it did. He found a hole where nobody can
And
get
they
it.
were shading him left to center, and you mentioned it, partner. The right field line was open, and that's where he put it.
You know, Solano hasn't proved to Mendocino that they can hit it to the right, right side of the field. So might as well play over, take away where they're hitting the ball. But Darian Evans just placed the ball perfectly, got himself a single.
Just knuckled up and just put it in play.
Hey.
Now up steps Evan Facenda, looking to increase this lead. Darian Evans goes and just fouled off the umpire's hand. Hope Blue's okay.
And those always hurt, man. Blues, they're tough, man. They take a beating. You know, if you're a catcher and you don't block it and the umpire gets hit a couple times, you're not going to get some calls. You gotta
you're not.
Protect them. They'll tell you, too, hey, you let that one hit me. You got to, come on, you got to protect me back here.
But that one came off of Evan Facenda's bat.
There's nothing you could do about that one. I remember during last season in Major League Baseball, I saw an umpire caught a line drive right underneath the mask. It hit him in the Adam's apple. He dropped. They had to take him helivac out of there. Turned out he was okay. But still, you know, he crushed the esophagus or something like that. So the team's just
thankfully that one just bounced off his hand, wrist area. So
yeah, that's
kind of shaking that one out. Got the power balance on, so he's fine.
That's going to be a nice welt tomorrow. See the shot of the Solano Community College medicine staff. So Facenda down 0-1 in the count. Darian Evans over on first base. Visioni comes set, kicks and fires.
High for ball one.
So Evan Facenda just needs to look for something he can drive here. His team now with the lead. Retook the lead 4-3 here in the bottom.
It's been a back and forth game. And I think Fernandez has gone over to start warming up. That ball is in the dirt. So 2-1 the count. Or they might give the save opportunity to David Novelli.
Yeah, he proved it last game against Mendocino. He pitched. He had 2 strikeouts and 1 inning of work. Guy was dealing.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
You know, just had enough movement to get outside of the strike zone, and Facenda thought it was going to stay in and just kept tailing away. Those are tough to lay off.
And Darian Evans in time. I think he may need to work on some sliding practice after the game.
Hey, he was in there hard. The bobble from Tyler Beats allowed him to go in to be safe. So
a strikeout for Zach Vicinoni on Evan Facenda. Darian Evans with the stolen base. And up steps Brandon Mihalic.
So let's see if Brandon can come up with a big 2-out hit to add a little cushion to this lead. Going to be heading into the 9th here.
Ooh, and a big, juicy fastball. Just too quick for Brandon Mihalic.
Yeah, he just swung out of his shoes there. His eyes got really wide open. He was big and fat and just couldn't get around on it.
I'm glad to hear Solano's dugout getting vocal, encouraging their hitters. And same pitch, same answer.
You know, he needs to shorten up his swing here now, down 0-2. He's taking that big.
You know, why not
swing.
take a crack at it the first until you get 2 strikes? That's what I always did in the video games that I play. Swing, you get the square button for the power hit until there's 2 strikes, and then you hit the X.
And he fouls this one back over to third base bleachers. Count stays at 0-2. Now it comes down to situational hitting. You know, it's 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. You're up by 1. You need Darian Evans coming and scoring, add a little cushion going into the top of the 9th. So right here, you know, you got a big gap in left center or right center field. So just drive something over to second baseman's head and let it roll.
And they're also giving up the lines. They are not playing the lines well.
Ooh,
And that ball is high. Almost got away from him.
just a bit high.
Anytime a catcher has to reach up and extend his arm fully upward to get the ball, I think it's a bit high.
Just a hair.
A smidge.
Just a smidge.
A tiny iota. And that ball's popped up to center field.
This could be trouble.
Nick Agliolo with the play, but Solano scores 2 in the bottom of the 8th to answer back 4-3 as we go to the top of the 9th. So Mendocino down to their last 3 outs, and pitching for Solano, getting the save opportunity is David Novelli.
Jacob Novelli.
Jake Novelli. I'm sorry. I've been calling him Dave Novelli the entire time. Is there a guy in the MLB, Novelli?
No, it's David Novelli _ but over here.
So one of us is wrong. Either us or Mark. Ball outside for ball 1.
So Ben Miller, Tyler Beats, and Dylan Miller due up here in the top of the 9th for the Mendocino Eagles. Novelli was almost unhittable in his 1 inning of work.
And that ball is high for ball 2, and I don't know where that one missed, partner.
Just a little high. He hasn't been calling the high strike a lot today, so he's been blue behind the plate, has been very consistent with his strike zone. There it is.
And almost the exact same pitch, but
A little lower, just enough.
a hair lower.
Just a hair lower. I mean, it's there. Like umpires say, hey, it's almost there. You
Yeah.
just missed, you know.
And maybe that's one of those things. If you can put it in the same place consistently, they'll give you a little bit of leeway with it.
Exactly. If you're hitting the same spot over and over again, they're going to give you that call.
And that one nicks the outside corners. So battled back. 2-2 the count now. And Mendocino needs something to happen here in order to extend this game. And swing and a miss. Strike 3 called.
So 1 batter face, 1 strikeout.
That's 3 out of the last 4 that we've
Yeah.
seen from him.
Now batting catcher Tyler Beats.
So Tyler Beats coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today with a walk. You know, he's been doing the catching behind the plate, and he's been doing a phenomenal job for this Eagles team. He threw out 2 runners today.
Yeah, he's been busy today.
Mm-hmm.
And that pitch is high for ball 1.
You know, he's consistently staying around that high zone. So you drop it down just a hair like we were just touching on. It's called a strike. Hair high, it's a ball. Ooh. And Tyler Beats thought about it.
Well, I mean, when it's you see it,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming at your eyes. It's a little bit easier to think about swinging at. 2-0 the count. Strike 1, says the umpire.
That hits the outside corner, so a little bit of a slider that Novelli's throwing is coming hitting that corner. The umpire's giving him the call.
I've been really impressed with David Novelli.
Mm-hmm. I have too. The guy's got some lights out stuff.
Swing and just fouls it back. So 2-2 the count now. So almost the exact same thing. Go down 2-0. Battle back 2-2.
Now here comes the money pitch. Let's see if he can put him out right here.
And pokes that one down the right field line, but that one will be well foul.
Right into the Mendocino bullpen. So, count stays 2-2. Tyler Beats putting up a fight against David Novelli.
And you never want to be the guy that strikes out in the 9th inning.
Never. Especially the last
Make
out.
it somebody else's fault why you lost the game. And swing and a miss. So 2 up, 2 strikeouts for David Novelli. And up steps
Dylan Miller. Oh, we have a pinch hitter.
number 30. Trying to get it for you.
Austin
Cristando. Austin Cristando stepping in. He looks like a pretty big boy. That pitch is low and away for ball 1.
So all 3 batters faced started them off with balls. You know, just mixing up his pitches there, not trying to be too overly aggressive.
And that ball is high for ball 2.
Now I'm going to look for that sweeping slider. He's been hitting on the outside corner right now.
And you can use the same strategy for multiple hitters when you're only pitching an inning.
There's a fastball on the outside corner.
Low and away, up and inside, and then the slider across the plate.
I mean, you're only facing 3 batters. You know,
Yeah.
That's all you need to face, so might as well do the same thing all 3 times because they don't have time to communicate as they're walking up to the plate.
That ball is low, so 3-1 the count now.
You know, it's really when you see the guy a second or a third time when you really have to start mixing up your pitches and locations. And, okay, I started this guy off 2 times in a row with a fastball. All right, I'm going to throw a curveball, maybe to get him to chase, outside corner, in the dirt, something like that.
And that ball is inside, so a 5-pitch walk for Austin Cristando.
And so we'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Tyler Mansell.
Tanner Mansell.
Tanner Mansell. I keep calling him Tyler. Tanner.
Tanner's not that common of a name.
Yeah. I actually knew a Tanner growing up. Small world, right? And Tanner is 1 for 3 on the day with a single and a strikeout. So Novelli just steps off the mound. He's collecting himself, enjoying this nice, beautiful day here at Billy Louise Yarborough Stadium as the wind starts to pick up a little bit, but not too much to make a difference. Just cooling it down. It's probably around 80 degrees here in Northern California.
Good March weather.
Better than the rest of the country. That's some freezing temperatures. I'm in shorts in March. Come on now.
Squares around a bunt, and that ball is picked up by Tucker Bishop over to first, and that ends the ball game as Solano wins 4-3. And partner, this was a great game, up and down for Solano.
Yes, it was. And, you know, it all started with the pitching of Dylan Dumape. He went 6 1/3, 5 strikeouts, only gave up 1 earned run.
Only 3 hits.
3 hits. The guy was lights out today. And another
Chris Roast ends up getting the win.
Yes, he does. And you know what? Big day for Nick Perez at the plate. 3 for 4, 3 scored runs. Darian Evans with 2 RBIs, Evan Facenda with 1 of them. And what a good overall victory for Solano, taking the first series of the year, 2 out of 3 against these Mendocino Eagles. And they have Contra Costa coming up this week. So good momentum boost for them to start their season after a poor preseason.
Yep, and so we are going to be back with the player of the game. We'll let you know who that is when we show you who it is.
Hello, everybody. I'm joined with our player of the game, starting pitcher Dylan Dumape. Dylan, congratulations on the victory today.
Thank you, man.
So 6 2/3, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 3 hits, and 1 run. How did you prepare coming into this game?
You know, I really just told myself that I need to get ahead of hitters and throw strikes because I've been struggling with that the past few starts. So.
And you really got on top of them, I believe, from the 3rd to the 6th inning. You started off every batter with a strike, which led to your strikeout success. What were you seeing from this team and reacting to?
You know, they have a few good hitters at the top of their lineup, so I was watching out for them, but I was able to get them to roll over a few times and keep them off balance.
So start of the season, took the first season series, 2 out of 3 games. So how does it feel to get in the regular season and get your first series victory of the year?
It feels real good. It's our first win streak, so hopefully we can keep building off of it.
I can see the chemistry of the team's really starting to take off now, so it's going to be ready for the rest of the season?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, well, thanks again. Congratulations. And our player of the game, Dylan Dumape. I'm Stosh Moyna. Back to you guys in the booth. Thanks, man. Congrats. Sounds good.